Oh, shit.
Oh, homie, you're so addicted to cat.
Oh, homie.
It was the drug at the time. Yeah, so everyone was doing it.
It's
Oh,
the drug at the moment as well.
blimey.
So everyone was being in the K-hole.
It's toaster.
Yeah. Lewis, you gotta move your mic.
Lewis,
All
Lewis!
right.
what are you doing,
my
man?
Lewis, stop eating your...
Lewis, get away from that school now!
What the fuck are you doing, man?
And welcome to episode 17 of the Hexperts BattleTech podcast. This is a Hexpert service announcement on BSPs and you. BSPs, as I'm sure you probably are aware, are battlefield support points or battlefield support
didn't know
cards. I'm glad you didn't know that, Dom, because at least it means that someone's going to learn something today. But yes, anyway, your host today are myself, Lewis. We've got Tom in his angry chair over there.
Gafla! Oh, shit, sorry. Sailor!
Got Nathan in his special chair down there.
Or,
Got Dom in MCP heaven.
What's a BSP?
What's a BSP, baby? It's a battlefield support point, which we will discuss shortly in our main segment.
what's your BSP count?
Probably
Hey, what's your BSP count?
about 32 if you're playing the Mercenaries campaign system scale 1. Anyway, let's have a little talk about some hobby progress and some news, because there's actually quite a lot of news this week. So let's have a little chat. So, hobby, let's go with Nathan. Nathan, what have you been up to? What haven't you been up to?
I've just been editing. That's all I've done. If you look at the YouTube, I'm now only like 17 episodes behind, you know? Getting there eventually.
We're now making another one for you to catch up with.
No!
Any hobby, Nathan?
I have come into possession of a porcupine. Not the animal, the battle mech.
You actually get a
Just in
live
case anyone
porcupine.
got confused. Yeah. I'm just gonna put it on the table. Fit the hex. Oh, just squish him in. But no.
Yeah, so that,
So I got porcupine. He's going to be part Gallus because I didn't realise that they came out in like 30, 60, 30, 50 odd.
yeah.
So of course I'm going to have that little meatball of death running about.
Super.
Yeah. Other than that, put some more green on some more Jade Falcons, and that's about it.
That's pretty fair. Any games played this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played a couple. By a couple, I mean one single one, where I played Ian to decide who is the ultimate top banana.
Who is the?
That just happened to be me. Me!
You could have told me this. I've been calling you Donkey Kong this whole week. I didn't know you were King Monkey. a banana mountain.
Jade Falcon's the best fire mandrill. What a shock.
What? Oh god. Explains many
Yeah.
things.
I beat Ian's fire mandrills, and I beat Billy's fire mandrills, and Billy beat Ian. So I'm currently, 2-0, and they're all fighting it out in the lower leagues.
Oh gosh. I wonder if there's any monkeys that are going to come and take this title off you. But,
I don't know.
but talking of monkeys, let's move across to Tom. That wasn't me insulting him. That's it because he's been painting some monkeys.
I have been painting some monkeys. They are. I've been requisitioned by my homeland of Turkey, so I am going on holiday for a week. So unfortunately, the monkeys aren't finished, but they're about 80 to 90% done. I just did all the guns and stuff and the lenses, which is nice. So they're a lovely orange-red split because I chose the most difficult Kindra, which is a straight down the middle orange-red split. So it was a bit of a ball ache to get that all working.
Do you remember what their name is, Tom?
Yeah, Kindra Bale Grant.
Oh, Grant, that's not too bad.
I think it is Bale Grant. 2 seconds. Let me just let me check.
Man goes on the internet during podcast.
Let me check. Yeah, it's Bale Grant. I got it right because I even bought decals for them from Piranha Graphics or Fighting Piranha Graphics, so they look sick. And they have it's ever so slightly elevated the scheme from weird colours to weird colours for a reason.
Cool.
But no pictures this week. Apart from that, I've been doing. I fell down the rabbit hole, Lewis.
No, not
but-
more Game of Thrones, is it?
No, so I have actually been playing some Game of Thrones, yeah, and then Dom got me to Dom's made me, he forced me to buy some Marvel Crisis Protocol, so I'm putting some Winter Guard together. So I'm gonna have the Russian Avengers.
Yay. Good game.
No.
They're cool. They're just like nice models, so I'm looking forward to painting them. But that's all going to be after my Turkish holiday, where I'm going to eat many, many, many gyros. And
And Tom is from Turkey.
I am Turkish.
He's,
Oh,
So-
that explains the teeth.
yeah, they're the whitest teeth known to man.
Yeah, listeners, if you want to imagine what Tom's fire modules look like, just imagine a nice pack of squashies at your pretty much there.
Squashies. They're like fruit
Squashes
salad.
is such like a UK-based cuisine. But
Yeah,
it's
the
like-
worst
even
thing is,
a fruit pasta.
though, it is literally the truth. I've just looked them back. I was like, what do they look like? Yeah, drumstick squashies, the original raspberry and milk flavor, the packet. That's what they look like.
Welcome to the Squashies cast.
Squashies cast.
Yeah, that's it.
God, you know, UK and Dire Straits when they're making milk flavored sweets. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, milk bottle.
No.
Absolutely disgusting. But that's me. Apart from that, my body has been slicked with the heat of the UK.
You played any games, Tom?
I did. I played against. Who did I play against? Was it Bill?
Someone played Bill. I think it was.
it
Bill.
was. It was you.
I did play. Oh my god.
Tom, it's you.
Oh my god, my brain. I did play Bill. I played 7K. I ran out my lovely 3D printed Pleiades Hussars in the old Dougram / Macross style, so the unseen artwork variants, and they did really well. I won. Bill put up a really good fight, but
Did he?
no, he did, to be fair, until about 2 turns before the end. It was like 50-50. I thought he was going to get the upper hand because he was just chunking me, but I got a lucky head hit with I feel like it was a PPC or something,
Yeah.
and it just put him through a head, and it was just like, cool, that's your massive mech down now.
I saw you guys set up, and then I turned to play my game for a bit. And then the next time I looked over, his also was off the board, and all his other mechs were just on the floor dying.
Yeah, there was an ammo explosion. One of his pilots fell over, and as he
yeah.
fell over, he ejected into a wall.
Ooh.
So
Jam.
it wasn't great, to be honest.
All the classic
But
Alan.
Billy had like a slapstick comedy moment where his guy ejected out and he just face planted straight into a wall.
Oh, yeah, no,
I
wasn't-
don't think you face spun at those speeds.
No, he went from solid
It's-
to liquid.
Yeah, it's like the Akira bike moment, but without the bike and just the skid mark on the floor.
Whoa.
So nothing like the Akira bike moment at all. Thank you, Nathan. Very cool.
Welcome to the Akira cast.
Akira cast.
Akira.
Talking of Akiras, Dom, have you been up to any hobby?
Oh, mate. Cyberpunk Edge Runners just got a new season announced.
What? How? They're all dead?
Well, no, David is dead, but
Well,
Night City.
Anyway, spoiler alert for everyone
Oh
that's
my
interested
God.
in watching.
I think my
Literally
dad.
the trailer. It's literally, if you watch the trailer for Cyberpunk Edge Runners 2, the first thing it says in text is David is dead. I feel like I'm not really spoiling anything that they haven't.
David is dead. Long live David.
So, how does that relate
Yeah,
to
what have I
any
been
new
up
hobby?
So that relates to the right. Am I on the bloody Inquisition cast? What the hell? So the how does that relate to my hobby? Well, the Cyberpunk Edge Runners board game
Yeah.
is coming out, and I'm super excited to get my hands on that, my grubby little mitts on that.
Yeah.
Because you can paint up an Atom Smasher, who's the mean man from the show.
Yeah.
Spoilers. But I'm really looking forward to that. I love painting individual models here and there, like I know, we're all from a Warhammer background and it is fun to paint big armies, but it's also fun to just paint like a cool model. I think that's what a lot of the Trench Crusade people are doing at the moment. They're just painting like a few cool models. So I'm looking forward to that. I have been playing in like little Marvel Crisis Protocol games over the past week. That's been fun. I've been painting some Space Marines. Has anyone heard of those before?
Whoa.
Those Marines.
What are they all? I know
Blood
it's a bit
Ravens.
weird.
Especially
Uh,
not
The
really
enemies
know.
that's our door.
Kakar. I'm painting what are they called again? The Raven Guard. The Raven Guard.
Got them.
The Raven Guard. We're painting some of those. So
Sorry, Dom.
pictures to follow, probably, maybe, if I can be bothered to grab the pictures.
Dom's just like, I don't care
And that-
anymore.
And that's for Horus Heresy 3, isn't it?
That's for Horus Heresy 3. I think I'm heresy pilled. I'll play every game other than the game, the podcast that I do. I'll play every other game.
Can I inquire as to the reasoning behind this, please?
I think it's a reverse psychology thing. We've got to say that we don't want him to play, and then he'll play a game.
Dom, I never want you to play a BattleTech ever.
Fair enough.
It didn't work.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Heresy 3. I mean, I am a shill for GW games occasionally, so I'm looking forward to that. What else am I looking forward to? Painting some Howling Griffins for Bad Ab War. That's what I'm looking forward to as well.
More Space
Just some Howling Griffins, because more Space Marines, because there's one thing that I know. Yeah. It's not Chinese writing. It's painting Space Marines. Everyone knows how to paint a Space Marine. It's fun to do. It's easy to do. You get to practice your edge highlighting. And yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Practice my what?
My edge highlighting.
It's like dry brushing, but for neat people.
No, that wasn't the joke I was going for.
Yeah, I know what he was going for.
Lewis,
child.
Let's move on then.
Let's move on. Yeah. So in general, I'm having a good time. I'm painting my stuff. I'm chilling. I'm killing. I'm making a living. And yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to learning about the BPM or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the BSPs. Well, I'm glad you've stopped being involved with the devil, Dom. I'm glad you've come back.
The devil from the Bible.
From the Bible.
Lewis, are you talking about my alcohol addiction or
Mephisto? Which one?
Both of them. Cool.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic. Anyway, we'll move on. Hobby for myself then. I've not been doing too much. I think my Kit Fox is still sitting on the paint stand in the same state it's been for the past week. So he's there ready for when I get a couple minutes and when it cools down a little bit, because it's still a bit warm over here. We had a intro game this Thursday against Riley, which went okay until both my shots from my mechs blew the head off his Catapult K2 that he was using, which didn't go fantastically well for an intro game.
What an asshole!
Dear listener, this is precisely why I don't want to play BattleTech against Lewis, because Lewis is such a power gamer.
I said we can rejig this, because that shouldn't have happened. Like, it shouldn't have blown. There's only two shots hit that mech and both of them hit the head.
Lewis is such a power gamer that it makes me not want to play BattleTech. So blame
I do just want to say, Lewis says. He says, "Oh, we could do that. Oh, yeah, blah blah blah," and he's laughing as he says it. As the words come out of his mouth, he's laughing. This man he's a menace to society.
He's a harlequin. He's a dirty harlequin.
I bought a rifleman and a fire bee to play against a Catapult K2 and a Phoenix Hawk. I thought I should definitely lose this game in spectacular style. Did not expect to accidentally blow the head off the Catapult. Turn 1. Oh dear. Well, hopefully Riley comes back. But apart from that, that's pretty much.
They never come back.
I've ruined it.
Oh
well. Other than that, I've been doing some scouting out for the Hexperts Merc Campaign Day event. I've been going to venues, looking at the venue, asking about what we can do there and what we can't do there, looking at all the cool planes there. Spoilers.
Getting sad that they're not allowing us to do certain things.
I don't know what they're not allowing us to do.
Well, Lewis, I asked some supplementary questions.
Oh God, no!
Oh no!
Auditory questions.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
I was going to say we can check out all of our hobby on the Instagram, but I think we don't have anything to put on there.
I do.
Yeah, we don't want us to see that. No one wants to see that. We won't bother with that. But
I have some things.
Maybe we'll post up Dom's Space Marines and
God no. God no.
On the Instagram.
Oh fuck it. I'm not putting Space Marines on it. No. Out. Get out.
You can have a couple. We'll just be like, what's
out.
going on here? Anyway.
That was a treat.
Get one as a treat. Should we move on to some news?
Maybe.
Cool. Maybe. Well, biggest news, obviously we talked about previously, is BattleTech Gothic is still coming. It looks like it's coming soon because reviewers are getting it and the shops are like all the shops are now putting it, saying it's coming. It's supposed to be the 1st of August. I don't know what that means when we get it. Hopefully, not too far after the 1st of August.
BattleTech Gothic is still turning up. It's not here yet.
But
It's coming
Yeah,
at some point.
Eventually.
Yeah, watching Gorilla. Is it Gorilla Miniature Games? Watching Ash's review. I didn't
Who
realize
reads book?
he reads book, but we got he's one with the numpy. We got decals. No one told me there's decals. Oh boy! Which is
Do you know why no one told you the decals, Lewis? Because none of us knew there were bloody decals.
No, but
That's true.
you think they might mention there's some cool decals? It's the first time that they've put decals like in the box set, as far as I know. But yeah, which is cool. So hopefully, when
Actually, you're right. Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking about that. You're completely right. That is the first time.
So I don't know if that's a sign of things to come or if it's just a one-off. Be good to see what the kind of quality of the decals are. I've heard they're kind of the decals from Tops, so I've not really had anything from them, but I assume they must be reasonably good quality if they're from a well-known games company. But I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know, Lewis.
Yeah, no, there's only one way to find out. So yeah, I think I'm sure we're all looking forward to getting one of those boxes. Apart from Dom, who apparently is buying them to burn them, but
Hate Battlefleet Gothic or whatever.
Exactly.
The-
Cool.
The only thing that Dom tolerates Tops wise is
No.
artifacts.
Anyway, other stuff coming out. We've got the BattleTech Technical Readout 3025 Centennial Commemorative Edition.
This sounds
Oh my
okay.
God.
So, as a non-BattleTech fan, this sounds like the most boring stuff imaginable. A technical readout. Number one, I don't like having to read at the best of times. Having to read a technical readout sounds even duller. If I need a degree to enjoy
Technical
this
readouts are
manual,
cool. This is peak BattleTech. This is here. This is them going over
right,
the technical specs of. This is like a little kind of like like your car brochure for your battle mechs. They're pretty cool.
I'm sorry. What's fun about this?
I think it appeals to a certain audience.
It's like your Haynes. Is it the Haynes manual?
No, this is more like a brochure kind of thing, just going over the specs. So
The Heinz manual.
not the Heinz manual, but anyway.
Yes, let me look at the spec of my beans.
So
No.
Tomato? Oh, I didn't know this was in there.
Sorry, Nathan. I didn't know this was an American podcast.
Tomato podcast.
Tomato. It's the Tomato Cast. Sorry, guys. We're gonna become the Coolant Pod.
Oh, dear. Anyway, so let's carry on. So anyway, so this readout is a what do you call it? A reimagining or like a refresh of the original readout. So it's got the original kind of it's that book, but they put the new artwork or new artwork style mechs in the old artwork. So it's pretty cool that you
Wait, why wouldn't they just republish the old artwork?
There'd be some issues there. But yes,
I have some issues with this list.
What?
It feels a bit lazy.
No, I like this because they've done some like real nice. It's nice seeing that kind of older style kind of book, but with the new mechs in it. I think it's like a nice. It's been nicely done. It's nice, subtle.
Can we confirm if there's actually any of the new mechs in the mechs that didn't exist
No,
before in 30?
it's anything that was in 30, it was anything that was in TRO 3025. So it's the original like 12.
Yeah, I think
they've just put the new artwork in.
I can't remember.
That's it.
I can't remember if someone mentioned as well. They've like put the errors and stuff that were in the original book as well. It's the original book, but with new pictures.
Hence why I'm calling it slightly lazy. But
if you want a new version of that book, that's how you'd get it because they can't make a new one with the old prints.
Guys, remember the MSRP for this book when it was released in 1986 was $9.95.
Yeah.
How much is it now?
They got him! They got him!
They
He's
killed
been
him.
silent.
How much is it now?
How
much is it now?
No, it's Tom's
He's back. Help! They're taking me.
Randall's got him.
Randall was. I don't know how much it is now. It's just it used to be $10. So
So it should be like $20 now then.
I think probably looking a bit more than that, but anyway, I think it's a cool book, and if you want to get that book,
okay. So can we have people write in and tell us, is Lewis just a crazy guy or
I am a
is this
crazy
actually
guy.
cool? Do people actually like this
I
stuff?
think
Because
it's cool.
He's just a crazy
I
guy.
am a crazy
This
guy.
sounds lame.
I actually quite like it. I had a little flick through the original one.
Can I
like
can
the
I-
space and
What's up, Tom?
Can I just interject again, please? And I would just like to say I much prefer the German name for this, which is the Hardware Handbuch.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would much rather have the
lovely
Hardware
handbook.
Handbook 3025 than the technical readout.
You have to say it like that as well when you advertise.
Oh,
it.
yeah, well, no, it's the Handbuch.
Oh yeah.
That's just the Steiner version. Come on.
Also, just a quick touch about our previous news topic as well. I like the what do you call it? The code for the BattleTech Gothic box is 40,000. A bit of a nod there. You know the product.
Oh,
a nod to what?
dear, oh dear.
A nod to what, Lewis? A nod to what?
I don't know.
Battlefleet Gothic.
I don't know.
Battlefleet
right,
Gothic.
cool.
I don't
Of
know.
course.
But yeah,
It's the SEO, the search terms. You're gonna
So-
search for
of course.
Battle.
so some of us don't. Some of us are bored by this. Some of us think it's pretty cool, and Tom just wants the German book. That's what I've gathered from this.
Give it a handbook.
Cool.
He wants the handy.
Oh dear. Back to Bergen.
Oh, good old Tom and his German books.
Cool. So some other
I
news.
want the handy.
This news has been out for a bit, but I suppose it's kind of been brought to my attention again. Probably should mention it. Is that Railpath of Europe doing some 3D printed terrain for hex-based BattleTech? I suppose you can use it.
It looks
for-
real bad. It looks real bad.
You told me you liked it last time.
Yeah, I was lying
Oh.
for clout. I was lying for clout.
It's-
I think it looks terrible.
Oh god, those are some dodgy print lines. It's on an FDM, but not a particularly
Yeah.
good one.
I think
Yeah.
it's cheap. Yeah, but
Not as cheap as printing it on your own FDM.
yeah, if you got an FDM, I'd say if you got a modern FDM, I think you probably find you could probably do something similar yourself.
I'll be the ray of hope and sunshine here. This podcast, as always, I'll just say that I do like design itself, even if it is quite simple.
Yeah,
Because-
Yeah, no, I like the design, but that Nathan, if you
Uh.
got the small chemical plant up on the screen, that 3 hex thing. So that is £3. So you pay basically £1 per hex, and I'll be honest, that ain't £3 worth.
there were some other
worth the
ones
kit.
as well. I think I was showing Dom where you can see where the printer struggled with going round a like an angle, and it's bubbled all the corners.
no.
But it's the kind of thing where if you don't have a printer, it's not too expensive, and if you're buying some stuff anyway, you could chuck it in. But like if you got a printer, you probably do a better job
God.
yourself.
Yeah, that silo is real rough.
It's fine. It's nice that they're making some terrain and it's an official terrain source, kind of. But yeah, they're getting there, but not there quite yet.
Speaking about something else that's officially sourced,
Officially
the
sourced.
other mech love! The other mech love is real!
It just got out of my mind.
That's right, we've had a bunch of technical readouts come out, and one of them is finally the other mech lamb. People
Yeah.
across the nation have been wishing for this, and we finally get it.
What's an urban mech lamb?
It's the mech that can turn into a plane
I
that
bet
Nathan loves.
No.
Like Starscream from
Yeah, but
Well,
imagine that as like a
cool.
bin. Imagine
Yeah.
R2D2 with wings and a
That's
giant
okay.
laser.
I think what is it?
Okay, I'm on board.
Best thing ever. But yeah, so we got them, and what else have we got, Lewis?
What else we got? Oh, the other record sheets. You got basically, I think they've kind of caught up with all the record sheets for all of the plastic releases up to this point. I assume they were being a bit slower with this, just because, in theory, a lot of this should have been coming out with the master unit list 2.0 kind of thing, but that looks like it might be taking longer than expected. So maybe they've decided just to kind of release these as a PDF, which you can find on the Catalyst Game Labs download page.
God, it's so shit.
What, have you not seen it yet?
No, I'm having a look now. I ain't a fan.
It's
What? You joking? A lot. Zooming about the sky, firing large pulse lasers at stuff. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, it's also 1900 BV.
No, it's 800 BV if you're smart. Thank you very much. 800 BV for that fast of a light firing a large pulse laser.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
fast of a light, a 353. You're insane.
Look at the next column where it obviously shows the.
Oh yeah,
plate.
the air mech. Sorry, walking 1, running 2. It's even slower.
You're just ignoring the good parts.
What?
Oh,
Cruising 9, flanking 14. You know
There you go.
it's a lot harder to hit things when you're a plane, right?
That's why we got Paul Sosa. I do.
I don't like it when mummy and daddy fight.
Oh, I'm gonna kill it with hammers.
I'm expecting Nathan to be turning up this Thursday with an urban mech lamb.
Well, thank God I'm in Turkey because I
No,
He's
you
gonna
don't
get on the
understand.
plane.
You don't understand. I'm going to turn up to the next Merc event with 2 urban mech lambs.
I will have one. When I run my event, I will have a single mech that I ban.
Yeah.
Which one though? Which urban mech you have to choose?
Oh no, sorry, 2 mechs that I ban.
Oh,
Nathan's going to make a custom version. Bring that.
Oh, actually, no. You know what? I don't care. You can spend 1900 BV on an absolute shit tip if you want.
Tom's getting angry. Let's carry on. He's getting mad. Anyway, so that's pretty much the news for this week, which is pretty cool that we got a bunch of cool news. Next, let's have a look at some events. Events very similar to what we spoke about last week, but let's have a little bit of a recap for the next couple of months. So we've got BattleTech Games Day down at Tabletop Republic in High Wycombe. They seem to do these quite often, but the next one, I don't know, because I had the July the 6th, but that's obviously happened. So just keep an eye on them. They seem to be doing a bunch of regular days down there. After that, we've got Chasing Shadows, which is on the 12th of July in Dark Sphere Games in London. It's a 500-point Alpha Strike narrative event. That's pretty fun. Obviously, search for that if you're interested in going into that. There is a Casual Games Day down in Cardiff at Firestorm Games. The guys usually play 6 to 8 kind of BV games, but obviously if you're interested in playing something else, let them know that you're interested to come down, or if you want to play a different game. I'm sure they'll look after you. They're nice enough down there, aren't they, Nathan and Tom?
Yeah,
they didn't
great group of lads.
hit you with sticks, did they? Make you play, make you not play with floating crits.
I think the only person who did the most damage to Tom that weekend was myself. he was not in good shape on the site. Were you, mate?
I was having a rough time. I was having a rough time indeed.
Cool. Yeah, and then after that, we've got the Battle for Tamar, an Alpha Strike event in Ponders End United Reformed Church in Enfield. It's a 500-point clan invasion narrative event. August the 9th, if you're interested, obviously look that up and let them know you're interested in popping down. And lastly, we've got some stuff for us. Obviously, if you're interested in playing some games and you're in the kind of Warsaw, Birmingham area, we do let other people play with us as well. We play BattleTech down at Boarding Prom on Thursdays, kind of 6 p.m. onwards. If you're interested in coming down, let us know. I think it's just the kind of table fee. If you're a regular, it's free if it's your first time down there, which is cool. And as I mentioned previously, keep an eye out or keep an ear out, because I'm trying to sort out some Hexperts BattleTech events down in Coventry, which should be fun and hopefully narrative, exciting and interesting, but I've still got quite a bit of work to kind of get that to go together. So just keep an ear out for that. That's pretty much all the events. Anything you guys have seen other than that?
Not really.
No. Okay, then we'll pop to a break and then we'll come back to our main segment shortly. So catch you guys on the flip side. And we're back from the break and back after listening to Tom inhale a whole shawarma in one. It was disgusting.
It was.
What do you call it? A chihuahua?
How'd you say it? It's too
Shawarma.
Shawarma.
We need to get like a best of Lewis's pronunciations.
Can't do it. Like I'll try.
Anyway,
Anyway,
before we get into this new section, Lewis, I do need your comment on the cool
let's not talk
video
about that.
that Nathan
carry on.
posted.
No,
It was very fun.
That's actually one of the best videos Nathan's ever posted with the views. It's got like 500 views already.
God, Nathan, he's going to do more of it.
It's got more views than the episodes. Anyway,
Yeah, we usually do.
We know where our bread's buttered. Hexperts fans, we've got what you want.
Anyway, let's go on to our main topic.
We know you like to.
Anyway, let's go on to our main topic: BSPs.
Oh, that was on purpose. So, yeah, BSPs, Lewis, what are they?
They are battlefield support points.
Why do we have them?
basically to represent some of the things going on in the battlefield that we don't want to fulfill with models, which we can do in BattleTech, but things start to get quite complicated when you start using some of these options. And these cards kind of let you have some of that flavor without having to learn quite a lot of rules.
I was about to say, Lewis, I've got Total Warfare. I'm pretty sure I can have tanks normally. So, why would I want BSPs instead of record sheets?
Well, Tom, BSPs let you have some things such as tanks, artillery, airstrikes, and minefields, to name just a few things, without having to learn all of their rules, have to have a artillery vehicle off the board shooting in. You can have the effects these kind of options would have by using these little cards, which for Classic, we've just had them come in the Mercenaries Kickstarter box, and we have had them previously in Alpha Strike. There's a few more options now with the Mercenaries box, though. So, as we just said, there are a bunch of them. So we should go through some of them. So there are some that are like airstrikes or like artillery strikes, which don't basically represent a model. These ones kind of are representing something being shot from off the board, or the plane coming in doing a strike, or something like that anyway. But it lets you have that kind of combined arms feel without having to learn all those extra rules, because they're quite simple how they work. Most of them, I think you might need to correct me if I'm wrong on these. It's usually you you play the card, roll to see if it hits. A lot of them do damage in groups of 5. So, for example, Strafing Run does 3 groups of 5 damage, and then that's it really. Then you just apply it. So it's a simple way to kind of get in that combined arms feel without having to learn how planes fly around the map, because it's not as easy as you might think sometimes.
What kind of BSPs are out there?
So there are a bunch. So the first ones, or I'll go through the list of what's there, because there are a few of them, but we can have a quick gloss over them, and we'll probably highlight some of the interesting ones for us. So the air
Important to note, though. Sorry, that the BSPs do actually have their own phase.
Yeah.
Which is before mechs go. So they fight in the normal phases. So they fight in the shooting and physical combat stage, but they move in their own phase.
Yeah.
Well,
so with stuff like elementals, this means that they will go before the mechs. So you have to be a bit more tactical where you place them to be able to.
Yes, that's kind of what I was getting at there. Is if you used to be, if you had a fire moth with some elementals, you could run the fire moth up and then jump the elementals off. Now you would have to position the turn before to get your elementals off.
So does the damage from these BSPs happen before the damage from the mechs, or can mechs, let's say, get headshotted still fire back at stuff?
No, so all of the combat occurs in the same phase that it normally does. The only thing that happens is, so sorry, I probably explained that wrong. They don't have their own initiative phase. They just have to move first in the initiative. Yeah. And all BSPs have to have moved before mechs can start moving. So we say the BSP phase, but it's not actually its own phase. It's just they're shoved to the top of the initiative tracker.
Cool. But before we get too involved with the units, should we have a little go through some of basically the strafing runs or the artillery or airstrikes first, because they're a bit simpler to talk about.
Wow, yeah. Let's talk about the most boring part of this.
No, these are fine. You just don't like the...
Tom, they're fine, they're balanced, they're fun.
We'll probably get back to it. There are some feel-bad moments you can find with some of these cards.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yeah, so in regards to air, we've got defensive and we've got... defensive and offensive air. So some of the offensive air options are, you've got your...
Tell you what, I've been around Lewis after he's had a big kebab. He's got some offensive air.
That's it. We've got light airstrikes, heavy airstrikes, light bombing, heavy bombing. We've got strafing, and we've got a bluff as well. I've seen the light and heavy airstrikes used quite a lot. They're usually aren't they just a roll, see what damage they do, and the way you're done with them?
Yep.
I know.
So
yeah,
how they work is that you have a target number for the airstrike or go for the airstrikes. You have a target number for the airstrikes.
Yeah.
Where it ignores the TMM of the unit or mech that you're firing at.
Yeah.
What's
and
a
it's just-
TMM? Sorry, what's a TMM?
It's the
Target movement modifier.
Yeah.
So
target movement modifier. So it's the number that you add on
so
to.
when you jump around, you get harder to hit. and stuff
exactly.
like
Yeah.
But because they're planes and they got better targeting systems, it seems they're able to just shoot you anyway and ignore that,
Because they're going
which
faster
can
than
make
you.
it which can make it a bit rude for the lighter mechs where speed is their armor. But yeah, so and then you do a number of damage in clusters of 5, which is given on the card. And also, as I found out at the UK Games Expo event, you also roll to see if it hits the front of the mech or if it hits the back of the mech, in which obviously hitting the back of the mech's the higher numbers, hit the front of the low numbers.
Yeah, can be
But
can be pretty.
you also have, it can be very brutal. You also have the air cover. So you can get light air cover, you can get heavy air cover. These will be able to counter the different kinds of bombing and strafing runs that you encounter.
Yeah.
Such as the light air cover being better against the light bombers because they're able to keep up with the bombers and the strafers.
Yeah.
And take them out before they can hit. While the heavies can deal with the heavies because they've got more weapons to be able to take out the heavier aircraft.
Cool. I say just going through these cards because I don't use them too often, and especially because I know Tom's not a fan. I'm sure he'll go through in a minute why. But obviously the bombing, unlike the light airstrikes and heavy airstrikes, they hit an area as well. So if you're trying to hit a bunch of mechs, or if you've got stuff like maybe elementals, if you're using the older system, then it's pretty good. You can hit a bunch of stuff all at once. I was asking Tom as well. I said, Tom, why are strafing runs so expensive? Because it's like 22 BSP points, which is quite a lot. But apparently, it doesn't say on the card, but it's you hit a number of hexes, not just one, with the target number to hit on them. So that makes sense why that's so much more expensive.
Yeah, but you've got to think about how likely is it you get 5 mechs in a line? It's unlikely. You maybe get 2 or 3.
Yeah,
potentially,
but
but if you can get 5 in a line, off.
Oh yes.
Off.
Yeah.
If you got a conga going on and you don't mind taking a damage, it is very much worth it.
Yeah, I suppose lastly we kind of spoke about everything now. So we got the bluffs as well. So in theory, you could play a bluff card. So people might, I think they can play their air cover, and then you might say, "Haha, I wasn't even going to do an attack."
I have a quick addendum to this. This is a Hexperts service announcement. You can only buy bluffs if you are playing with the hidden aerospace rules optional rules. Normally, in a normal game, you have to face up. You put your aerospace card face up, and then your opponent selects a defensive.
Yeah,
if they wish to. If you use hidden aerospace rules, you put your aerospace face down.
Yeah.
Your opponent then chooses their defense card face down, and then you look, which means that you can have one bluff per person. So like you can buy one bluff and slip that into your deck. So like you could say, "Oh, I'm going to do an attack," and then you put it down, and it's like, "Oh, I've used my heavy air cover," but it's actually a bluff.
Yeah, cool. That's pretty. It's nice that you can use that and like you can.
Well, no, it's just that you can't buy bluffs otherwise.
Yes.
Normally, you can't buy them. You have to use the optional rule to use them.
So that makes sense. While they're in there, but also while I probably haven't seen them. Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously we mentioned about the air cover. So Tom, I know you're not the biggest fan of some of the airstrikes. Why aren't you keen, or what have you come across that's put you off using them?
So you have basically the way it works is if you're playing Merc Scale 1, which is 2 mechs, it's 32 BSPs base plus 1 BSP per 20 BV. You are under your 3000 BV limit.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Your light airstrikes are 9, so you can get 3 of them, and they're like 2 damage groupings of 5, so they're like it's 10 damage. It's not crazy.
Yeah.
But they hit on a 5, which you might be like, "Oh, that's fine." But then you've got things like heavy airstrikes, which are 16 BSP and have 4 damage groupings of 5, which hit on a 6. So you can buy 2 of them.
Yeah.
And you might think, well, that's not too bad because you have to put in the TMM, blah, blah, blah. No, it ignores TMM.
Yeah, so some of these light mechs, especially stuff like the fire moths and stuff like that, if they get hit by even the light airstrikes,
I have killed and in turn been killed by these. And what happens is you start taking them, your opponent then just takes heavy air cover because heavy air cover is half the cost of your heavy airstrike. So they can afford to take both heavy and light air cover because they know you're taking air. So you take air, they take cover, neither of you have BSPs, no one has a fun game. So locally, me and Ian have decided that we're not taking airstrikes or cover because it's just unfun. I can understand the point behind them. It's cool, and I think it's good to have that as an option. But bloody hell, it's just per sort of damage per BSP point, or sorry, BSP.
Yeah,
is insane comparatively to the other cards.
Yeah, super. Well, there are a couple of events that I think have found similar issues where they've decided to restrict the amount of missiles that or not missiles, or airstrikes. Basically, I think some events have said, "Oh, we're narratively saying that you've only got enough It's a plane going around doing this damage, and it's only got enough missiles for doing 2 airstrikes or 2 runs, so you can only choose 2, and you might only be able to do 1 of those per turn, so it stops that kind of dropping in 3 heavy airstrikes on 1 mech at once and knocking it over or blowing a small mech to pieces, turn 1 or turn 2.
I killed I want to say a hunchback.
Yeah.
I killed a hunchback with 2 heavy airstrikes.
So I've took the legs off I took the leg off a baboon with 1 airstrike, which was
you
lucky.
destroyed my torso.
And your cougar,
the adder? Is it cougar? Sorry,
yeah. Which kind of did cement kind of some of the issues with the airstrikes there, but I think they can be fun. I think they just need to be tweaked slightly so they don't.
My first introduction to them was not a good one. If you remember a few episodes back, probably one of the earlier ones, 4 or 5, when we did our little hobby talk and I talked about taking my fire moth into the hinterlands.
Yeah.
And then I faced Tom, and then turn 1, he's just like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't tell you about these, but ignores your TMM. I need a 7, and you have no fire moth. Goodbye. Good night."
Yeah. I think there's some tweaking to do there because they are kind of a built-in way to deal with some of these very high TMM units, like the jumping strong units that end up with 6 TMM jumping into trees and stuff like the fire moths, which they're so fast they build up such a high TMM. But being as cheap as they are and being able to drop as many as you can do down means that they can be quite difficult because they just remove mechs turn 1. It's like, oh.
I can't lie. If I played BattleTech, I would hate this stuff because to me, it's called BattleTech, not Aerotech.
Yeah, but that's part of the point of the BSPs is to kind of let you have some of this stuff be there in the game without having to learn the rules of using aerospace, because aerospace is kind of almost a separate game on itself.
But you just want to hit people with your robots, right?
Yes.
I agree.
That seems like it defeats the.
I think
the fun.
I like the idea of them, but I think they need to be tweaked slightly. They're not. They're a bit too good. I think, as Tom said, for their price. I think maybe they need to be a bit more expensive, or maybe they need to be restricted.
I'd say probably the best thing you can do is just either decrease the points of the air cover or increase the points of the. What is it? Increase the target number. Value. Yeah, target number.
Wrong.
What do you reckon?
You just halve the person's TMM.
Yeah, something like that might not be a bad idea, because at least then it means that the fast mechs, the really, really fast mechs, have at least got a chance. But we'll see if anything comes around for it, if there's any official tweaks, or if anyone else in any other events coming up has some cool ideas, and see how well they work. But we're not here just to talk about airstrikes. There are other BSP kind of strikes or attacks. Some of the interesting ones, you've got our artillery, which are thumpers, snipers, and long toms. I didn't realise until we ran that event that the artillery, do you have to wait for it to come in on the game?
Yeah, so it takes a turn to arrive.
Yeah.
So you fire it one turn, and then the next turn it arrives.
Super. And do you have to roll your target number? If it
How-
misses,
So how it
So
works-
you fire, it comes in, you roll for your target number, and then I think you have to spot for it as well. And then you do like a radius of damage, but it can scatter if it
yeah.
fails.
yeah.
Yeah.
Looking, the sniper and the thumper aren't too bad, but that long tom is pretty scary. The amount of damage that can put down. Yeah, so don't group up if someone's bringing one of those. But I think these seem a bit more obviously fairer costed because you got to bring something in, and then someone's got to stand there for a turn before it even hits, and even then it might miss. So it kind of, I can see they're not so egregious. I don't think. I don't know if maybe they're a bit too expensive. What they do.
So the reason that they're quite expensive is because you get, I think it's per 2 single map sheets or per double map sheet.
Yeah,
You get 5 pre-designated hexes,
yeah.
and if you fire at those hexes, you automatically hit.
Oh,
You don't have to roll.
so you can block off. You could block off an area in a turn and just say, well, you can come in here if you want, but you're definitely going to get hit by an artillery strike.
Yeah, so like say there's a choke point and the enemy's arriving, you could say next turn that one is going to have a load of damage. So if you want to turn up, you know what I mean, like it's or if you need to, or I think probably what it's going to be is it's going to be used to force people to move.
Yes.
Like you know, if I was doing this, I'd just probably have the cheaper ones sighted on all the heavy woods.
Yeah.
And just be like, cool, next turn, that you're taking like 15 damage. Move or don't.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I was interested in seeing them being used because I saw that obviously the airstrikes, but I've not seen the artillery being used. I think that might be something I might want to try when we get back to some more Mercs games because it might be nice, like you said, to just try and push some of the sniper mechs off their position or put down quite a bit of damage.
Sadly,
Yeah,
I'm not tactically minded enough to be able to
Can't think that
force
far
people
ahead.
to force people to move into like a 1 hex radius in a turn.
Yeah. Cool. Anything more to say on artillery?
It's fine.
It's
I
fine.
guess.
Yeah, it's not so egregious. Talking of pre-planning, though, the ultimate pre-planning is we've got minefields next. So minefields come in light, medium, and heavy density minefields. So these, I think, as you said, you put these down. Would you designate where these are before, or how they work? Because I've seen them.
So you have pre-designated hexes, Lewis.
Yeah.
You have to note down on a piece of paper or in like another place that you can, check to make sure people are actually.
Yeah.
I'm not saying people aren't going to be honest, but it would be good to.
You think keep it. It's good to have a record of where they are.
Yeah, it's good to have a record so that people can,
He's not
make
cheating.
sure that we're all. Yeah, make sure everyone's keeping it kosher. But you pre-designate hexes.
Yeah, super. Well, they're to be honest, they're quite cheap as well. I think the light ones are only for BSP, so they're
yeah, but you do hit on a 9.
Oh yeah, that's not too bad.
But when you do hit, you do hopefully take out a leg or two. I haven't seen the damage groupings recently, but I bet
it's not massive. It's not a lot. The heavy one, I think. Oh, to be fair, actually, the light does 2 damage groupings. The heavy does 6, and only costs 12 BSP.
Yeah.
So to be fair, 3 heavy density minefields in strategic locations would be pretty cool.
Hits on 7 as well.
I've got a question though. I know this is like a lot of these BSPs are to simplify the total war rules.
Yeah.
But if say you're taking underrounds, would you then generate the minefields and operate them as per normal, and then also operate the BSP minefields separately in the BSP way, or would you just generate more light, heavier, medium minefields?
Wow, great question. Why don't you ask Catalyst Game Labs, the people that make these books?
Because they blocked me.
Don't ask me.
I sent a saucy letter to Randall and he didn't reply. I got a cease and desist letter.
You were trying to send a letter to Randy Bills, and you actually.
Old Randy Bills.
Anyway, so
he's not a fan of ours.
I think.
Yeah, I can see a semi Yu-Gi-Oh esque Magic the Gathering esque deck of heavy, medium, and small minefields just been generated throughout the game until
I-
you can't move your mech anywhere.
I think it's
Unless
Tom
you
says
roll a nine.
that's the kind of thing. I think it's when you're kind of straying into Thunder rounds, you probably have to start asking
Yeah, true.
your event organisers or tournament organisers what they think, or as Tom says, it might be worth emailing in. It might be something they're adding in the future campaign book, but it's quite a niche ammo type, so I don't know if it's something that's the top of the priority list to figure out how.
I think what Lucy's trying to say to you, Nathan, is nobody gives a shit about Thunder.
I like Thunder rounds. We've got to see him on.
I think, yeah, I
Double
think
blind.
you'll find. Yeah, I think you'll find they are the main character of Double Blind.
They are them.
Thunder rounds.
They had like pages of talking about them. And to be honest, that is Lauren Coleman's, and that he's the big boss man
Exactly.
of BattleTech. So I'm sure, Nathan, you need to email even further up the chain of command, and maybe that's where
He's,
they'll come in.
he's literally the big boss.
Your big boss. I'm sure he's going to be
Oh,
email him. He'll get them put in.
Well, he's invisible.
Potentially, yeah. So that's some of the kind of strikes, or kind of the not physical model on the board, mostly BSPs. So we'll pop to a break, and then we'll come back and talk about the actual BSP units, where we're actually going to have a model on the board and about how they work and what they do. So we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Welcome back, guys, to Lore-Tech or Your Tech, everyone's favourite segment. This is the only reason you tune in. Obviously, in the graphs and see the viewership spike at this point. So yeah, how about we go through it? It is simply a game where I've been digging through some dodgy Reddit threads and have found some very interesting news, and sometimes I actually research it, or I just completely make something up.
Nathan, the
So, yeah,
only reason you ever peak there is because you just listen to that every time.
this week we go to around the Fourth Succession War, and we find these guys we find this one man specifically called Dr. Banzai. Now, Tom, Lewis, you know Dr. Banzai, don't you?
I'm a big I'm Banzai pilled, yes.
A big inventor, made the Wolfhound.
He made
a
Hatchet Man and the Axeman.
Yeah. Well, as he's got his own private military fund, he also has his own private jump jet. And
Oh
and
dear.
that jump jet, yeah.
Yeah.
That jump jet, it's called the Morticia. The pilot of the jump jet is called the Morticia. And the Orion class jump ship itself is called Lurch, based off the Addams family. And that's it.
That's based off the Addams family.
You know Morticia Addams and Lurch.
I'm not sure if
No.
I'm not sure if this is
What?
Dom lives a sheltered life. They weren't allowed TVs where he
True.
lives.
That is very true.
I'm immediately gonna go and say this is your tech, Nathan.
This does sound like Nathan insane
Bruce?
rambling. This sounds like you're insane rambling.
Because Dr. Bonsai is based on Buckaroo Bonsai, not the Addams family.
I don't know. This sounds
It's based on a horse.
Yeah, based on a horse. This
It
sounds
is based on a horse, indeed.
This sounds so insane. I think it is a Your Tech.
No, it's the Adventures of Buckaroo Bonsai across the 8th dimension. Do you not know the 1984 sci-fi comedy?
Yeah, old men love it.
So, Dom, what do you think?
What do I
What
think?
do you think?
Probably, it sounds like Nathan would say something weird like this, so I'm going to say it's. I'm going to say it's Your Tech.
Your Tech. So free Your Techs, Nathan.
Well, I got it slightly wrong. It's actually her battle mech, but it is true. Yvonne Morticia is the commander of Team Bonsai's gunship, the Nth Dimension. She's a dropship pilot and a renowned sharpshooter in a personal Orion battle mech named Lurch.
Right, well, number one, you actually got the fact wrong, so we're all
Yeah,
right. Woohoo, everyone's
you guys have one. Well, no, why? Because the bloody Reddit thing got it wrong.
Nathan's sitting there reading Reddit.
No, literally went
the
through the fact
asshole.
thing and just screenshots it.
I don't know if I'm the asshole or not.
So
So yeah, technically it was a Your Tech. You guys are right.
Yay.
Because it was a mech, not a battleship.
Woohoo.
Well, maybe next time we'll read the Reddit properly before
Maybe next time we'll learn
Jesus.
to read.
No, I did. I've gone on to Sana to
to
double
check
check it.
the Reddit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we all learned something here today anyway. That Morticia apparently is a battle mech pilot,
Nathan can't read.
and Nathan can't read.
You
Yeah.
can't.
Cool.
It's because you got the Orion. Isn't it the Orion a dropship as well? You got like an Orion class.
There's an Orion class dropship, but
Yeah,
it's the Orion battle mech.
Yeah, that's where I got confused, guys. Don't
Don't hit me,
please. Don't hit me with sticks, please. But yeah, that's been your tech or law tech.
Yeah. So if
Back next week, maybe with something that's actually factual. Who knows?
if
Do you want another really quick fun fact?
go on, Tom.
The first company of Team Bonsai is called the Hong Kong Cavaliers, which is actually the name of Buckaroo Banzai's band in the film, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension.
I see.
So they really laid it on thick.
Yeah.
I think Randall Bills might be a fan.
I don't know if it's just random.
Randall's a fan.
I
Anyway.
think Randy Bills might be a fan of Nathan.
Anyway.
Big old Randy Bills.
Anyway, if we do have some interesting Your Tech or Law Techs in the emails, but if you've got some more for us, feel free to send them in because we need some more. Also, make sure
improve the quality of our things.
Make sure the font's really big as well, because Nathan can't read the little words. Anyway, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. And we're back from the break and back from that riveting Your Tech or Law Tech from Nathan. We'll get him to read one of these days. Anyway, so let's talk about the other side of the BSP. BSPs, basically the BSP units themselves, so the units that you're going to be getting in the box sets for the mercs or in the little vehicle box sets, or you can use your own vehicles. But basically these have kind of got a model on the board or a token. These BSPs are a little bit more involved than the previous ones we've talked about because they are effectively a kind of streamlined or slimmed down unit. I assume do you agree with that, guys, or would you want to explain that maybe differently?
Have you got a record sheet? Imagine if you took 90% of the record sheet away and only were left with the bits that you really need.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cool. I think these BSPs as well, they're kind of leaning slightly so the vehicles aren't as good as maybe they used to be. The idea, I think, with them is that when using these, the vehicles are the kind of support characters or actors in the game, and the mechs are the stars of the show. I know previously when we played with vehicles, because of the way they're built and on record sheets, not so badly with Alpha Strike, but more so with Classic, we've seen is that they can be quite well optimized, and they can be more optimized than the mechs, and the mechs fall apart, and you just end up with a bunch of hetzers left, don't you, Tom?
No.
Just how many ultra autocannon 20s did you think?
4.
It was very mean of you to do that, but yeah, I don't know if
I did it to prove a point, and I proved my point.
Yeah,
which was that I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, you should not have done that. But yeah,
so I am the level of petty. So just for a bit of background for this is that locally we were talking about vehicles, and I was saying that they were overtuned, and some people were saying they're not overtuned. You just have to like play against them right. You just need to do the right things against them. And I said it won't matter. They're just too good. And people were like, well, I'll play you then, as they normally do. And I went, cool, okay. So I built an entire force in very nice late war sort of World War II camo schemes. Or it's actually one of the Taurian schemes,
wasn't it? Yeah, Taurians.
It's one of the Concordat schemes. I think it's the Taurian Concordat Jaegers, I want to say. But I just made 4 Hetzers, a couple of Sturmfears, a Shrek PPC, and some Pegasus hover tanks. Oh my god! I played 2 games with them. It was murder.
Yeah,
It was bloody murder.
I'm sure there's people that would say that would still argue against them being a bit more efficient than they should be. But I think if you're playing with people that are used to playing against mechs, that the vehicles can be quite surprising, especially if you've been playing games like HBS, BattleTech.
Yeah, where you just kick them and then die.
explode, and then or Mechro Mercenaries. But I would say the BSP cards are leaning more towards them being kind of more like the harebrained scheme vehicles, where they're there, they can make quite a big difference, but also they're definitely a support character. They're not the star of your armies. So the BSPs themselves, the same as the other cards, they do have a BSP, a point system to them. These ones, the units usually have got 2 points on them, so they've got like their points, and they've got like an upskill point, because your units do have skill like your mechs. We'll probably go through the card now, probably the easiest thing to do. Yeah.
The only thing is you can have two, like there are two different skill levels.
Yeah.
There's like basic and advanced. That's it. You only have two options.
Yeah, you can't go.
It's quite important.
Can't go up to like a skill 1. It's just one or the other, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah. So units themselves, there's a range of units. So at the moment, we've got cards for things such as infantry, battle armor, hovercraft, wheeled vehicles, tanks, helicopters, artillery, emplacements, machine gun nests. At the moment,
A lot of stuff.
I'm sure there's more like the mobile HQs, the mass trucks. I've heard as well the emplacement sets that are out in America, I think, but not here yet. They've got they've got stuff like Castle Bryan cards and stuff like that. So you got the turrets off like the big, massive fortresses in there. I think I've gathered they're so big that they affect the stuff that you can find on the salvage on the map afterwards because of that. But yeah, that's getting a bit too far into it anyway. But to start with, let's go through one of the cards. I'm sure, Nathan, have you got one of the cards up on the YouTube? And if you're not watching YouTube, then you could probably, I assume you've maybe seen a card, or you can look one up.
I've got the infantry.
Super duper, that works. Cool. So the cards themselves, you've got obviously their name, what they are. They've got their movement points, so it tells you their movement. So for, I suppose for the infantry, or if you're looking at a tank, they've got a number, and so that's how far they can move. So the same as the mechs, they've got hexes they move. That includes the turns, and also they need to take into account moving up and down the, up and down levels. You've got the TMM that they generate. So regardless of how far they move, as long as they move, they generate a TMM.
That is correct. Yes.
Cool. You've got their ranges for their weapons. So obviously short, medium, and long ranges. So you apply the kind of range kind of modifiers that you know from standard BattleTech onto these. You've got your skill. So obviously this is your kind of your gunnery skill for the unit. And then you've got your damage. And the damage, usually it's either a solid number or it's a number times by a number of hits. So basically that's kind of like representing, so for the Demolisher example, has got 20 times 2, so that's the 2 AC-20s hitting you. I think as standard you roll just 1 dice to see if that hits, but I know locally we've maybe tweaked that, because if you get hit by the Demolisher, it's 40 damage straight off is real mean.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only thing with the actual like physical vehicles and stuff that I have a problem with is that kind of all or nothing in the base rules. We have tweaked it, and I'm sure that there's arguments for and against. There's reasons why we're idiots and should feel bad.
Yeah,
but sucks to suck. Really, I think is what I'm trying to say with that one.
I argue for hitting with the Demolisher for 40 damage, but obviously I'm slightly biased.
Yep, you would.
Obviously, also looking at the cards, you can see the specials on a lot of the units. I think it's just at the moment in the Mercenaries kind of intro book, it talks through what the rules are for BSP cards using these rules. But for example, like the infantry have got swarm, so if they're closer to you, they double their damage or something, and they're basically there's a bunch of kind of special rules similar to Alpha Strike in the way they work that kind of give you some abilities.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely like Alpha Strike in that regard.
You do want...
So it's cool, but like they're small upgrades. They're not massive game changing things.
I think also that a lot of the specials kind of, what's the word? They define what they can do as well. Like some of the turrets or the emplacements, for example, it will mention that they can't move and they've no turrets, so they've only got a fixed front arc. So it's worth making sure you've read those specials and you've read and seen how they work, because obviously if you've been playing with the emplacements and then when you read it, you realise you obviously probably gather they can't move because they're in emplacement, but more as the ones from the box are emplacements, although their models look like they could probably turn, they actually have got a front fixed arc, and if you get behind them, actually you can't shoot anymore, which I think kind of contributes towards their price being a little bit cheaper. And I suppose lastly and most importantly for these BSP cards is that they've got something called they've got a check or like a threshold that you need to do to them. So the way they get damaged is slightly different. Do you have a better way of explaining this, Tom? Because you use this a lot more than me. So how would you explain the kind of the way they get damaged and the way they die? Because when I first heard it, I was like, no, I'm not keen on this, but actually it does work, but it's just a bit of a...
They have two different things. They've got a check number and then a threshold number.
Yeah.
So when you take damage, over a turn, like over a phase, you will compare the amount of damage taken against what's known as the threshold. Now, the threshold on, say, a maximum hover transport is 5. So for a check to be called for, 5 damage needs to be done to the transport.
Yeah.
Okay. And if 5 damage is done to the transport, you then roll 2d6, and you're then looking to roll equal to... No, sorry. Okay, we actually do this the wrong way.
Yeah.
We do this the wrong way. We'll talk about how you're meant to do it.
Yeah.
Is if you you roll, if you do 5 damage to the maxim, you then roll. The maxim's check is 7, so you roll 2d6, and if you roll 7 or higher, you blow the maxim up.
Yeah.
Should you roll under 7, you then reduce the check value by 1.
Yes.
Permanently. So you might not kill something, like some things start with checks of like 9.
Yeah.
And you know, it's one of those ones where it's like you have to degrade them a little bit unless you get a lucky roll. But you can kill things relatively quickly, like some of the more limited ones. And then the only other thing to know is if you do 10 damage more, for each 10 damage above the threshold value, you add 1 to the roll.
Yeah. So if you did...
So say I had a threshold of 5 and I did 25 damage, it would be a check plus 2 against 7.
Yeah. So you'd knock that check down by 2, wouldn't you?
2.
Yeah. So you'd be looking
for 5s.
Yeah. Which it means it's worth actually putting in some firepower to some of these units to knock that check down. So it means that it's more likely to blow up. But I know a lot of the time for me, it's as long as you get a check rolled, if someone's rolling something, that I'm happy enough to get that most of the time.
Yeah, I would say, like, unless it's something that you really need to kill confirm on, just rolling a check is really good because you're then starting to degrade it. So unless it's, you know, as I was saying, unless you need something like I need it dead yesterday.
Yeah.
I'd say just put 5 damage into it, call it a day.
Yeah, that's probably the most efficient way of doing it, but you can put more into it. The cards themselves, generally, if you're playing games as well, the BSPs, they usually can't cap objectives, can they? Some scenarios will let you do stuff with them, or they'll mention it if you can. They can help out with a lot of stuff, can't they? Like picking up things, but they're generally being the support actors can't. They're not the ones who are going to be getting you the points. They can help, but generally they won't. They're not allowed to do it themselves, usually, are they?
Yeah, it's all I'll say is it depends.
It will tell you in the mission, I suppose, if they can or can't.
Yeah, it will say in the mission what the options are, but I think the long and short of it is really it depends.
Yeah.
So just make sure to check your missions.
Yeah. And
sometimes they can't help with objectives. Sometimes they are the objective.
True. Yeah, and
it's why I can't be sort of super specific because it varies so much.
Yeah. And I suppose one thing to consider as well is that these units, if you are using them in the mercenaries kind of campaign system or even some events, a lot of times these 4 games will refresh every game. So these are kind of units that people I wouldn't say throw away, but they're more sacrificial than your actual mechs. Same with the other BSPs. These are kind of things that fun little things that you can have with your force, but you generally you won't carry on the damage generally from these units. So if they die, they won't affect things usually, will they?
No, people do just kind of throw them away like they're going out of fashion.
Yeah.
Which, to whatever, really, I think.
I think the idea is that they're kind of there to be a bit of fun, but also there may be an external force being sent to support your forces that you don't really care about, maybe.
But also, like, counterpoint to that, which I think is like a completely valid sort of counterpoint, is if you want to make things more like gritty and specific, just track them.
Yeah, I suppose
that's all you need to do. Like, if you want to make things more kind of like, oh, I don't want to lose too many tanks or whatever, just track the amount of tanks that are dying.
Yeah.
Have a limited amount of tanks you can take.
Yeah.
Like, say, oh, we've only got one brigade, like one company of, Hetzers, or here's the 23rd Assault Company in our combined battalion. This is what they've got. And it's like, you choose out of these what you can take.
Yeah.
That's always something. I think it's just personal choice. So, but I do like that you can take it from as little as you want to as much as you want, which is always fun.
I really like some of these units as well because they add in some new special rules or different to what they were in Standard Classic or even Alpha Strike, such as like the Mobile HQ having the commander rule, letting you tweak some things for the game, or the mass truck being like a truck that does medical stuff, so you can heal units or you can recover wounds and mech warriors and stuff. So it means
being a truck that serves mash.
Yeah, it just gives them potato. It makes their health come back up again.
Oh, I'm so full.
Yeah. Also stuff
that's what the mass truck's for.
Yeah, or stuff like having infantry without having to have all the infantry cards or battle armor. It's great to have just to chuck an infantry squad down in some woods and they can spot for your enemies.
Track the individual health of each infantryman.
Yeah, which is, it's not a bad thing, but it's obviously if you don't want if you want to reduce the amount of paper that you've got on one side on your side of the kind of battlefield, then these cards are great for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I will say the only kind of like downside is it's obviously the loss of granularity, which I'm not gonna say yes, it's better, it's worse, but it's just different.
Yeah.
So, traditionally machine guns and flamers were incredibly effective against infantry.
Yeah.
3d6, 4d6, literally just chucking dice at people.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But now, not so much. However, this is completely just me throwing stuff at the wall, and everyone's allowed to tell me to shut up and go home. But I'm going to suggest, I'm going to suggest potentially you just roll like a D3, and that's how much damage, or like a D6 when you fire a machine gun at an infantry squad.
I've not So I've not
just play around with it. Is kind of what I'm suggesting is have a look at what you want, play around with it. Some people will like it, some people won't. I'm more on board with maybe making machine guns great again.
Yeah.
MMGA, guys. MMGA.
I've come up with a thought, and as viewers of the podcast know, that is never a good thing.
No, dear.
So in the Mercenaries campaign, how many? Yeah, you start off with like 32 BSPs.
Yeah, it's scale one.
And you get 20 per.
It's one PSP per 20 you're under, isn't it?
PSP per 20. So I was just wondering, is there a limit to that?
Yes.
Yes. 32. 32 more. So you can only go up to 64 more. You can only go up to 64 BSP overall.
I was thinking of just like flooding the board with infantry and making like a Valkyrie. So just have a wave of humans running at you.
Whilst that is incredibly funny, unfortunately, not an option.
They planned for this, Nathan. They knew you would do this. They
knew your games, Nathan. They knew your games.
Cool. But yeah, so anything more to say on BSP units? Really, that they're pretty cool. I like them. Anything more for you guys on them?
Play around with
it sucks. I think it sucks. So for me, right, if you're playing BattleTech, the game of armored combat,
Yeah.
you probably want to use your mechs to kill people
Yeah.
and other mechs, not by an airstrike. That feels like, and to be honest, it's a bit modern warfare of it, isn't it? It's a bit like Barack Obama's term as president. I don't. I want boots on the ground.
I don't see the Predator missile BSP.
I want boots on the ground. I don't want like strikes dominating the warfare. It feels too real. It feels like those Ukraine videos where your guys just get exploded.
Yeah, Dom's just watching FPV drone footage.
Yeah, like I don't like it. I think it sucks.
FPV Urban Mech Lab.
It just loses a lot of what I think the whole point of BattleTech is. Now I'm thinking from a philosophical point of view rather than a literal point of view, and I'm not talking gameplay purpose, but I'm just saying that to me, if you're playing BattleTech, you want to use your mechs, right?
Could be robots.
Well,
This is so funny.
Well,
This is so funny.
The thing is, the BSPs were added so that people could spend less time on combined arms and kind of get to using their mechs more because they simplifying the ancillary combined arms. So it's kind of, it's funny that you don't like them because they're doing the thing that they were designed to do.
You know what I say? Whatever happened to the Morning Star? That's what I say.
We'll get back to that. We'll get back to the Morning Star.
Well,
Dead and buried, hopefully.
No, but yeah.
Personally, for me, for BSPs, I feel like they really reduce how good tanks are.
Yeah.
Just like compared to what they are in game, because tanks are some beefy boys in the game. It takes ages to kill them while they can kill battle mechs in like no seconds, which really puts to question why you're using battle mechs more than just rolling tanks or just using helicopters. But anyway, I feel like they should have just nerfed tanks instead of giving us BSPs, personally.
They did nerf tanks by giving us BSPs.
Yeah, but I mean, just make it so they're really kickable. Just make it like quad damage kick, and then there you go.
Yeah, in the game, when you
Smash
fight a tank in the game, you just boot them 40 yards away, and it's like, oh, what was that? A fly on my boot? That's where flies land. Anyway, it's just they're just very, very easy to kill, and all I've heard from the BattleTech community, of which there are tens of them that are reaching out to me and
telling Dom,
tanks are so strong. I'm like, I've played MechWarrior 5 clans. Tanks just fall apart when you tap them. Why isn't everyone just shooting them from 50 yards away? Go away. Cool.
The tanks in MechWarrior have been scaled down, or the mechs have been scaled up to make them a bit more interesting. If they were the correct scale, a lot of the tanks are actually about as big as the mechs. Which is that
feels wrong. That feels massively wrong.
That's why they were scaled.
Yeah, like most of the tanks are like the similar tonnage to like modern day tanks, like 50 tons.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's why there's quite a bit of a juxtaposition between the two, because like some of the Scorpion tanks are like 20 tons, which means they weigh the same as like the Locust, and the Locust is massive compared to it, but actually the Scorpion's quite a lot bigger than it is. Or the LRM carriers are like 35, 50 ton kind of vehicles, so they'd be about as big as your Centurion. They're about as big as your Centurion.
That really genuinely sucks to me.
It's just an art style choice, because they wanted to have vehicles in the game but not be like these massive monstrous things. They wanted the mechs to feel more imposing than they.
Is that because like they were like running out of design space for the game? They're like, we need more vehicles and dudes and random bits for it.
I think I don't know if it's on that game specifically, but I think they've added vehicles in the past, and they've decided that the mechs maybe have been too small, or they've not felt as cool as they should do, being the size maybe that they in lore are, which is, it's a bit of a strange thing, but it's just that's why it feels weird that they're so beefy in the classic, but it's actually because in classic they're actually the same size as the mechs, or they're even bigger than the mechs. So yeah, that's why really. But yeah, for myself though, when I initially looked at the BSPs or saw their kind of initial rules, I really wasn't keen on them, because I thought this is simplifying things down too much. But actually, after playing them and seeing the idea of them letting you have the tanks but speed up using them, letting them be involved, but then making them a little bit weaker, so they're kind of supporting your play, but they're not like they're overpowering your mechs, which is what they have possibly been doing in the past. But also being able to throw in stuff like helicopters and airstrikes and stuff without having to learn all those rules is beneficial. Being able to just chuck some of that stuff in. Also, there's a bunch of like events and tournaments now that I think are starting to add in BSPs as a way to kind of let people have their BattleTech games, but also throw in some interesting units, or maybe have stuff like the airstrikes and artillery, because I think at that kind of tournament level, some of the stuff like some of the really fast mechs and some of the jumping pulse mechs, there isn't really ways to deal with them if you've not got stuff like artillery and airstrikes, because they're so fast they can't be hit by anything else. So they are being used both narratively, I think, also a little bit in the kind of competitive scene as well. So as I said, I wasn't 100% on them, but I think now I kind of lean towards more using these BSP cards over the standard vehicle cards. But that also, something they brought up in the past as well, is just because you're using the BSP cards doesn't mean you can't also use vehicle record sheets as well to represent maybe an ace pilot or one of your own vehicle pilots, as well as using these to kind of speed up using a bunch of tanks. So you could have maybe a company of tanks and maybe just have the commander having a record sheet to represent how good they are and maybe make them last a little bit longer. So yeah, so obviously Dom hates it with aggression. I think, Nathan, you don't mind, do you? I quite like them. And Tom,
they're nice.
I know you've had issue with them in the past, but overall, are you keen?
I think they're cool. I think having them as like their own thing does cause some problems. But, ladies and gentlemen, I have an amazing way to sort this out. Just multiply the cost of every BSP by 20, and that's just the BV value.
Yeah.
So, like,
if you don't want to be separate, that's
if you don't want them to be separate, just you can play with BSPs as you would like normally in like a Total Warfare game. You don't have to have this whole like, oh, I have 32 BSPs. It's like, no, I just have like 12,000 BV, and like as part of that, I'm bringing like a demolisher or some shit like that. You can just, and I think that's probably what I'll suggest we do in the future.
Yeah, that way,
because I like the idea of just including them, but maybe not including them as their own thing. So you don't have to bring them if you don't want to.
So you should have to have a separate BSP kind of wallet as well as your BV wallet. You could just put them together.
Because like sometimes it doesn't make sense. Like, because I make themed forces.
Yeah.
And sometimes it makes sense for the force to have vehicles in it, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Or like, maybe this is a thingy that doesn't use, doesn't have any export, whatever.
Yeah.
And like, or like, no, whatever, like it's a whatever. There's a reason I would/wouldn't. But if you have a separate BSP pot that you use every game, it means every single game I'm bringing my mechs and I'm bringing my BSPs.
Yeah. Well,
instead of I'm bringing my mechs. Oh, actually, instead of like a couple of mechs, I'm bringing some BSPs to flesh it out. So it's like you can add them in as like little flavor.
Yeah. Well, I'm quite interested to see, obviously, listeners, how you guys are using BSPs, any kind of modifications you've made with them, or if you've just said we're not using them at all, or if you're really, really keen. So if you've got any input on that, obviously feel free to let us know on our usual kind of socials what you think. Drop us an email or speak to us on the Discord and tell us what you think, and also how you're using them, because I think they're still so new. I think there's some kind of community kind of testing and kind of probably like a middle ground that we could probably find with them, so everyone's actually happy with them. I know not everyone's ever going to be happy, but it's probably like a good place for them, because there are some issues with them, but they're kind of close and they're feeling pretty good, I think, in my opinion anyway. But yeah, cool. So there's nothing else. Let's pop to another break and let's go to the best segment, Mech of the Week.
Yippee!
Yeah! Catch you guys on the flip side. And we're back. Why are you laughing already?
It's just, sorry, I had to stop laughing from the break.
Okay, well, we're back with Mech of the Week. We're partially laughing because Dom has gone to play some soccer or football to us.
with Randy
No,
Bills.
not with Randy Bills. He's just gone to play some football.
Lewis, Randy Bills. No
relation
connection.
to anyone.
No relation, yeah.
No.
He's going to go knock some balls about with Randy Bill.
You can't just make up a character. Anyway, let's get on to mech of the week. This mech, it looks like, has been chosen by Nathan this week, and the mech is the Whitworth. So, what made you choose the Whitworth, Nathan?
An absolute gamer moment. That's what made me pick the Whitworth. It was in the Billy and Tom game this week,
Yeah.
and
it was.
Even though Billy has talked multiple times in car rides,
yeah,
it did fade from my memory until I saw it. It's a javelin, and then he goes, "No, it's the better javelin." I'm like, "Yeah." So
no, it's the worst javelin.
Yeah.
No.
But it's got that javelin head, hasn't it? It's got the kind of bowl haircut kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
So
it's like the Ringo of the group.
Yeah, you got the Victor, you got the javelin, you got the Whitworth, and
it's got that top fade.
Trebuchet as well. I mean the Beatles kind of group hairstyle.
What if Whitworth had a low tapered fade?
Anyway, should we?
Do you want me to? Do you want to go over the history of the Whitworth?
Let's have a quick talk. Let's have a quick talk about who the Whitworth is. So the Whitworth rolled off the production lines in 2610. It was designed to fulfill the role for a lightweight missile support mech within the SLDF, but it did have a habit of losing its legs because it was if it pushed it a little bit too far, they could damage themselves or they just straight up fell off. So not fantastic. Yeah, not good. So the original Whitworth was armed with 2 SRM-6s. And obviously the standard lasers it's got, but obviously on paper this sounds cool. It's a lightweight mech, getting in there with some SRM-6s, very javelin-ish, but it's not particularly fast for its lightweight, and also, as previously mentioned, its legs like to fall off, so if it's trying to do some maneuvers and your legs fall off, it doesn't do a very good job. So shortly after that, obviously designers swapped from I think it's actually at the behest of the SLDF. They swapped from SRMs to LRMs, which I think is a better place for the Whitworth to be, a little bit further back from the battlefield, so it doesn't need to use speed, which it doesn't have, or maneuvers, which it can't do without legs falling off. Obviously, with its legs falling off, it didn't have the best reputation with mech warriors, and after its production lines, I think, were stopped or destroyed, it wasn't until the clan invasion that we saw the Whitworth lines firing back up again, and they still didn't have a very good reputation. I think during the SLDF days, they were known as not Whitworths, but Worthlesses, or Worthless. So
Worthless.
Whitworthless, yes. So not got the best reputation, but they're definitely a cool looking little fella. But yeah, Nathan. So the base version is the one with the LRMs that we know. So Nathan, do you want to take
it? Is
go for it?
A 40-ton medium mech with a Whitworth Type 1 chassis. Surprisingly,
surprise.
It's got an LTV 160 that lets it run 64 kilometers per hour, 39 miles hexes.
Or 5 hexes.
Like every other mech in this game, apparently.
It's just, I think we seem to have chosen.
We just keep picking like 5-7 hex.
Next week we need a faster mech or a slower mech.
Got 2 LRM-10s, and quite confusingly, it also has 3 medium lasers because they pair well together. It's got 10 single heat sinks to chug all that heat down. It's 982 BV, which is quite affordable. And it's 2,912,933 C-bills.
So we don't. That's like how many longbows?
Almost a longbow.
There's a couple. That's
an amount of longbows.
Is it 4 or 5 longbows?
It's worth about 1/10 of a longbow, so
I don't know if you got
best mech in the go.
If you got 4 or 5 of these, and instead of I'd rather have 4 or 5 of these than a longbow.
I got no legs.
Yeah, I suppose if your legs fall off, maybe
just Lieutenant Dan's halfway through the battle. That's a problem.
Yeah. Forrest, I lost my legs. I got no legs.
Well, so that's
where's your legs, Whitworth?
That's the base Whitworth. Tom, do you want to talk us through some of the interesting variants that we got?
Yes, well, we'll start with the Whitworth 1S, which is the aforementioned original production model of the Whitworth, which was mainly, I think, nearly exclusively seen during service to the Star League. It mounted 2 Harpoon 6 SRM-6 launchers and 4 additional heat sinks, basically allowing better, heat management capabilities. However, it was not popular, so it was phased out quite quickly, and the variant remains extremely rare.
Cool.
Talking about another very rare variant, we've got the Whitworth WTH-0, which was made exclusively for the Amaris Dragoons in 2754 as a terror weapon. Only 24 of these variants were ever built by the Whitworth Republic branch, carrying 2 Harpoon 6 SRM-6 racks in place of the LRM-10 launchers, along with 14 heat sinks, and replacing the left arm laser with a fluorostatic flamer. These Whitworths were painted matte black and became infamous for razing entire cities with their inferno-loaded SRMs and flames.
The war crime worth.
Yeah, the war crime worth. I do want to paint one, actually. I think I might paint a war crime worth at some point. They're very cool.
Fire Ant's best friend.
Yeah,
pretty much is.
I might paint like a flame, like the flamethrowers.
The war crime.
That'd be cool.
Cool.
Like a fire starter, a war crime worth.
Twisted Firestarter.
Oh god.
A twisted fire starter. And we have the WTH-1H, which is a periphery modification of the 1S variant introduced in 3066. In place of one of the SRM launchers, the 1H variant carries 8 rocket launcher 10s, providing devastating short-range striking power. It was popular with the Touring Concordat and Outworlds Alliance.
It's nasty. 80 damage just come right at you.
Just,
yeah.
And then we have the final variant we're going to look at, which is the Whitworth K. So this is Whitworth Specialty Manufacturing is responsible for upgrading the Dash 1 Whitworths owned by the Draconis Combine and introduced this variant in 3070. The K variant also utilizes 10 single heat sinks that remains 2 MML7s.
Nice these are.
While 2 ammo bins allow for some flexibility. The use of MMLs allowed the mech warrior to focus on either range support or close quarters combat. The inclusion of a C3 slave allows the K variant to share targeting telemetry. 5 Questar improved jump jets enable the K to jump up to 150 meters.
The others do. They have jump jets. I can't remember if they have them.
They do have jump jets, yes, but they are. I think it's a 464, whereas this one's a 6. I want to say.
Nathan, you didn't mention the jump jets. You let us down.
Oh, yeah. If I remember correctly, some of the Whitworths that the Cretans owned actually removed the medium lasers because they're having their pilots be way too honourable and be like, I must face the enemy face to face, and then run in and just lose our legs and just.
I think this K though, this is solid though. I don't know if it still has the medium lasers, but being able to go for
it does.
Two MML7s. If you swap them to, so these are you can swap them to. If you go for SRMs on them, that's SRM14, and with C3 as well.
That's the problem with me. Whenever I see MMLs or ATMs, I just think bigger SRMs. Let's go.
It's that, but also, but then if you are out of range, you can just swap to the LRMs rather than going, oh well, I can't use the mech anymore. So it seems pretty. That's really good. Like I can see that being quite popular. But yes, obviously, I think that one's pretty cool. But obviously, thoughts on the Whitworth overall? What do you guys reckon?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Is it a good mech? Is it a good mech? No. Is it a cheap mech? Yes. That's it.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not. Mech? Yes.
Yeah, 100%. I've got one painted up for my Legion of Vega, which for the Ratlance. It's cool. It's funny. I think she's called Queenie.
Yeah.
I think that's what she's called.
You sure that's not the dropship?
No, I think it's my Whitworth. But she's really cool. I like the Whitworth. Even the base variant, the 1, which is just a bit naff. It's only 980 BV.
I think for like a fire support mech, because I think sometimes having something like the longbow that you spend so much BV and points and tonnage on a mech that's supposed to sit in the back lines, actually having a mech that is quite light and cheap sitting in the back lines. I'd rather put maybe like a Whitworth on the back line than the longbow, because at least then you can put that tonnage and armor and weapons on one of your other mechs if you're so inclined.
I will say it gives me big Vulcan vibes.
I think this is kind of like a light trebuchet, really, because the trebuchet's got those 3 medium lasers and 2 LRM-15s, whereas this kind of looks like a trebuchet as well. So I think this is a little baby trebuchet.
I hope when you say Vulcan, you mean something in BattleTech, not Starship, because from what you've been telling me, they're not going to live long or prosper.
No, sorry. My slightly obtuse analogy kind of comes to there are some mechs that I look at and go, "Oh, this is 100% a battlefield mech."
Yeah,
like the Centurion or the Hunchback. It's like, this is obviously a military vehicle. Whereas when I look at the Whitworth, I go, this could be a counterinsurgency mech.
You think it's kind of like an
bit
op-4 kind of
more
mech.
of a,
Or like, I could imagine like
more of a Dad's Army.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, we've got to put some like garrisons on this world. What have we got? Well, I don't want to put the cool mechs on there, so let's have a look at our like third line.
Yeah, that's the thing though.
We got a Whitworth. Yeah, man, like 3 medium lasers. It'll kill like the Toyota Hilux that runs up to it with like a missile launcher. It's like, yeah, like it's not great, but like I think sometimes we look too much the super high, like a lot of the times we look at the mechs that are like the spec ops, the cool, like the operators, the cool shit that's just like made to murder things. Whereas what we should be looking at is the fact that like it has a gun and some armor.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing about it though. By the end of the Succession Wars, about like 300 surviving Whitworths because they just kept getting blown up and half of them family heirloom.
Yeah, they're not cool. Like they're not good, and they're called the Tin Woodsman.
Yeah, I think
it's.
I kind of like them, but I think the problem is that because they're not fast, they're not fast enough to keep up with the light lancers that probably could do with having their support. So it means they're stuck with the slower medium or heavy or assault lancers, where they're not meant to be really. But I think
I am having a look, and it seems as though during the Star League they were an able, if mediocre scout and light strike platform.
Yeah,
they often took part in recon enforce missions and raids against well-defended areas alongside Wolverines and Phoenix Hawks, or provided fire support for heavy attack forces with riflemen and warhammers when not used in common defensive roles. So it's not
they are garrison, or they're supporting medium kind of raids. Yeah, I think that makes sense for like a Wolverine and Phoenix Hawks. Like if they're going in and taking the brunt of the damage, and this is jumping around, sitting in the trees, firing.
Or like if you think like you're a compound, and oh shit, there's a Phoenix Hawk coming over the hill. Oh fuck, there's a Wolverine coming the other way. All people shoot at those, and then there's some LRMs coming over a hill at you. Be like, we'll deal with that in a minute.
I think it perfectly follows the Cretan original mech trend of it not being good but looking cool, just like the dragon.
I think it does look pretty cool.
Yeah, that's actually so true.
I like the little chest things on the CGI model popping open.
The chesticles,
and it's got laser in its head as well, isn't it? Which is pretty funny.
Yeah,
it does. It's got the Bonts laser. To be fair, it looks really cool. They've done a really good job with the new mech as well.
Yeah,
the old plastic looked really rough from the old plastic.
Yeah,
and the metal wasn't much better, but they've done a sick job. To be fair,
I think I might use one of these because I think I always find I want a fire support mech, but I don't want to put a lot of points into it. And I think I'd be keen to try this one out because I think having those jump jets means you'd be able to just put him up on a nice hill, just let him just pepper people with LRM-10s being annoying. So
I'm tempted to pick him up all Gallus.
Yeah, I'm tempted to get one to try one out just because at those points it's pretty good. I think especially that K looks for the points is good. The C3 it'd be nice if you didn't have that, so it'd be even cheaper. But I think for 819, I know the MMLs you maybe have not got as many missiles as you would do having the LRM-10s. But if someone comes up and tries to bother him, swapping to basically an SRM-14, then that's not too bad, to be honest. Cool.
Yeah, no, it's it's cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
And the H obviously, H obviously, if you want to just spray lots of missiles and probably, I've not seen the sheet, but I'm assuming if it's replaced one of the SRMs, it's on the 1S, then it's going to have another SRM with ammo. So if you fire all of the 8 rocket launcher 10s, you're probably going to blow up.
You'll find a little chunk in the armor, and then you can start firing the SRMs into it.
Yeah. Cool.
Or
It does have an SRM-6, Lewis.
Oh, so it's just going to fire. It will fire all those rocket launcher 10s, overheat, and then blow itself up. that is that's not a good design.
No, Lewis, it'll only go up to 10 heat.
If it shoots all of them. Yeah.
It's got 14 heat sinks, 8 rocket launcher 10s, 24 heat, goes up 10 plus a run maybe, goes up to 12.
Yeah.
You're not even avoiding ammo explosion at that point.
So it's actually you could pull it off then. Cool. We'll have to,
I wouldn't recommend it, but you could.
You could do it. Cool. Well, I think it's one of those. This is interesting because it's actually one of the mechs in lore is known as being a bad mech, but actually I think we know it's not the best mech, but actually I think all of us seem to actually like the Whitworth.
I'd say like overall it's a C. It's like S tier cool, D tier playable, but it is a nice C. I'll slot it in there.
Would you take this over a Shadowhawk?
I'd take fighting a mech with
over this.
No,
with a butter knife over a Shadowhawk.
Okay, I actually have a horrific confession, Lewis.
Go on, Tom.
No, I wouldn't take this over a Shadowhawk.
Oh,
what?
Interesting.
Yeah.
But
I like the look of this model
more. I think
visually I like this more than the Shadowhawk, but the Shadowhawk is a better mech just because it has more armor.
Yeah, I think this could.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Give you that.
Cool. I think maybe a 1-on-1. I think the Shadowhawk would pip it, but I think in its intended roles, I think this is it's a solid little mech. If I've not got one, I don't think I have one. I think it's on my list of things I want to, I want to try out at some point. But yes, cool. That's enough talking about the Whitworth anyway. Should we jump to a break and then get on into the outro and say bye-bye to everyone?
Okay.
Cool. So we'll catch you guys on the flip side. And we're back from the break, back for the outro. But before we leave, we're going to be talking about Nathan's mail sack. So it's got all full again, thanks to you guys sending in some stuff for us. He's bursting, so I'm going to relieve him now and talk about what was inside there. So we're gonna leave some things in his sack for next week. So we've got a bunch of entries or kind of submissions for the Hexperts BattleTech mech. We've got 3 so far, I think, or 4 so far, which we'll talk about next week. We'll probably pit them against the kind of winner from the kind of Hexperts' own designs to see if the fans make us a better mech.
Yes, they will.
They probably will.
Invariably. Yeah. I have no
beautiful shirt. It's already been guaranteed.
To be honest, I don't want Tom to have a mech that wins, and also I don't want the Morningstar to be our mech because of reasons.
The Morningstar must be our mech.
So please submit a couple more mechs for us to talk through, so at least we don't end up with the Morningstar or the Lazarus.
No. Vote for the Lazarus. Lazarus wins.
Please remove your vote for the Lazarus. Please take it off. It's just another Jenna, and that's so sad.
That's what we need. We need another Jenna.
That's all sad.
We need a 5th Jenna.
No more Jennas. Yeah, super. So obviously, thank you very much, guys, for submitting some mechs for us. So these are 55-ton, 30-25-ish custom mechs for us to kind of talk through to replace or to kind of upgrade our logo mech. So at least we have something that's not just AI generated. Cool. But yeah, so please send some more in. Also, thank you for BassTop for letting us know that the Discord link had broken because I forgot to put one up that wasn't unlimited time. So going forward, the Discord link should be working indefinitely. I can't bother to go and change the ones that are on the old ones.
It is on the my links that we have now.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's right. Nathan's got his
Just like 10 minutes.
Nathan's got his my
We've got
links.
to everywhere that we post content,
Yeah, it's
at least relating to the Hexperts.
Nathan's got his OnlyFans and his Throne link on there as well. So
yeah.
What is Throne? Whoa,
No,
what is Throne?
let's not go into
Oh,
this.
no.
Let's not go into this.
I need to know this now.
Let's talk about this after the episode.
we'll talk about this
After the
after.
episode, or in the after episodes. But anyway, so yeah, so it's kind of like Linktree, but free or freer anyway. I think. So yeah, so that's us for this week. Hopefully, Dom comes back to us from playing football one day. We'll get him to play with us, play some BattleTech one day. Probably if we have some sort of football mechs, he'll get interested. He's very easily distracted. Anyway, so thank you for your support, feedback. Please like us, favorite us, share us, subscribe to us, ring bells of us wherever you listen to us or watch us. If you're on the YouTubes,
Talk about us to your therapist.
Tell your mom, tell your dad.
And even if people hate, even if you say to someone, "Do you like BattleTech?" and they go, "I hate it,"
just talk to
if
someone on the bus.
If you go to any Airbnb TVs, set their YouTube and spot following us.
You're allowed to do that, Nathan.
Why not? It's helping. It's helping the people opening the Airbnb, as I will now know the Hexperts.
There might be some sort of
only positive
data access issue, but anyway, don't do that unless you've got permission. So yes, we'll get. If you want to get in contact with us, obviously check out the descriptions of the videos or the podcast, and hopefully the new Linktree link thing will be in there, and I'll probably just put all the links in there anyway because I don't trust.
Or,
as
always,
yeah,
send us an email at hexpertshelpline@gmail.com.
Yeah, please do that. We do love having some emails, especially if they're telling us things we've done wrong, because we need to improve. Cool. But yeah, like we said, next week we'll probably have a little bit more of a talk about the Hexperts mech. So we'll talk through some other submissions, and we might choose one next week depending on how many submissions we actually get. So until then, though, we're going to catch you guys on the flip side.
See you next week.
Well, yeah, so cool.
Shut up.